Good evening. Welcome back to the second segment of the Glazov gang. Welcome back, gentlemen. We're here with Josh Brewster, concerned citizen, Gary Eaton, the writer, producer, and singer of the band The Army You Have, and Tommi Trudeau,
bewildered Democrat.
You're a Democrat, though. You're not a progressive.
20 years a Democrat.
Yeah. My condolences, Tommi. Gentlemen, let us begin with the fact that residents in more than 30 states have filed secession petitions. What does this mean, Josh?
I hate to say it, it means almost nothing. I think it's a blip on the map, and I don't know how they're going to raise their own military if they secede, but to me it's just a blip on the map. I don't know if anybody takes it more seriously. I don't take it seriously at all.
But wait, but a lot of people are upset with the Obama victory.
Well, yeah, I mean, listen, this Obama is not Bill Clinton or John F. Kennedy or some kind of maybe a centrist Democrat. This guy is way to the left. And so the conflict between, liberalism and socialism, communism and freedom, it's never been more stark.
Okay.
He's way to the left. That's why they're pissed off.
Is Obama naive and fumbling around, or is it malicious intent to destroy the country he's leading?
I think that he has a concept of how this country's place in the world and how this country should function that would seem like malicious intent. I think his intentions are good, but I don't think he understands how awful the results are for
I completely disagree, and
I think it's malicious.
I think that Obama loves the America that he wants to build on the ashes of the one he wants to destroy. Tommi Trudeau.
Well, I've got a question. How come the only one in the administration who halfway had any sense at all, Hillary Clinton, I was a pretty good fan of Bill Clinton, and the only one who halfway had any sense at all, Hillary Clinton, can't even work with Obama anymore. She's leaving. She can't stand to work with him anymore.
Okay, what do you think about the whole secession thing?
And even Anita Dunn, that one so radical to the left, she said, my hero is Mao Zedong. She even
greatest
said,
mass murderer in history.
She even said that the Obama administration is outright hostile to women.
Yeah.
And so now Hillary Clinton's had enough. Okay, so but the thing is she's got the money and the resources to bail out of this ship of fools. We're going down with it.
Okay, Tommi, just a second. You've talked about women and stuff. Do you agree that the women in the Republican Party and conservative women are always much better looking than left-wing women?
Well, the truth
but
is...
it's true.
The truth is that would seem that way, but I know some pretty hot left-wing women.
You can count them on one hand. Gary?
Yes.
In terms of everything we're discussing?
Well, the secession movement, I think it's just basically a statement. There are some people who are really into it because they've talked about it for a while. But I really think of it as a statement, more or less. I mean, because, as you said, they're going to raise an army. I mean, if you're landlocked, I mean, what the hell are you going to do? But mostly I'd like people, if you're going to say we're seceding, could you please spell it correctly? It's not succeeding, you're seceding. That's one thing. You're losing a little. You're
going to hurt people's feelings.
But good. We're going to succeed, man.
Not only, all these people in all these states don't want to be part of the Obama administration anymore. Even Obama's closest people can't stand him anymore.
They can't lay down in the streets and block the streets because a lot of them are, older. This is their way of protesting, saying we object. And the strongest way necessary. There are some people, if you're on Twitter, there's some people out there who are actually really serious about it. I think it's kind of silly. It's a waste of time. We should be
gentlemen,
strategizing for the next level.
Thank you, gentlemen. Josh, illegal immigration. Are the Republicans, were they just too firm on this issue? Do they have to change? How do you feel? What needs to be done here?
I feel what's happening right now with regard to the Republicans on illegal immigration is something that's really a bad decision, and they're going to make this decision, and this is the way they're going to go. They believe that if they grant amnesty to 5-10 million illegals or whatever they're going to do, that all of a sudden Latino voters will suddenly love them. Well, that didn't work for Ronald Reagan when he made one of his greatest mistakes, which was granting amnesty, and he knew it was a mistake, okay? They're not going to love the Republicans because they're going to grant amnesty. Republicans should be there to defend the border, no matter how politically incorrect it is. That issue resonates with the vast majority of Americans and many Democrats too, right? This is a centrist issue. And if the Republicans are going to follow the Michael Medveds and the Jeb Bushes of the world, and I can name some other names, if they're going to follow this stupid path of giving up this important plank, you should be strong on the borders if you're a Republican. And you'll get even more of the center. Amnesty will not usher in the Latino vote for Republicans. They are absolutely misguided. They don't know how to grab the center anymore.
Tommy, what do you think?
Well,
is Josh speaking fact or fiction?
Well, honestly, I don't think we have that much control anymore. You know, I think possibly
we got to give up.
Well, no, but I would like to ask, the people who think it's downright prejudice to forbid anyone to come into this country is okay, well, we have all these people who deserve a job. They've come over here, and I don't know if I'm necessarily for sending them back. I'm probably not. But I want to ask the liberal person who is with a union and is making $35 an hour to sweep a floor. Well, you have these people who've come up over Mexico, from Mexico. They deserve jobs, and how are they going to get jobs? There's millions and millions and millions. And also, according to you've set a precedent here. It's racist to say you cannot come into this country. So come on, up over the border, everyone. So you have a $35 an hour job sweeping a floor. Well, there's lots of people who deserve a job, and they can push a broom
for $9.
Well, for
wait a minute.
$5.
When you say it was racist, wait. Are you being facetious when you say it's
well,
racist?
no, that is the precedent.
No, that's what he's saying. He's saying that this is what they're laying out.
That's the precedent the liberals have
If you stand up to the border, you're called a racist.
Yeah, right. Okay. Sorry,
so
I had a mental
so
lapse.
what about
what if I don't like Canadians
you're a
coming
Democrat,
in?
so
what
I'm
if I
not
don't
sure.
like Canadians coming across the border?
Yeah, down with Canadians. But just a second, Gary has something very wise to say. This is the Buddha of all knowledge. Gary?
Go ahead.
What? No pressure. I just think I don't think it's really going to go anywhere. I think once again, Obama, as with gay marriage, because he rolled over on that as well, he's not going to go after a federal mandate for gay marriage. I think it's just a game right now. I think it's another distraction unless La Raza really steps in and starts pushing him and starts marching in the streets. Then maybe something will happen. But if anything, we know Obama will never personally lead anything as far as that.
Is he just an opportunist? Is he just an opportunist?
If you look at his record, what did he really do? Did he write the Obamacare bill? No. What bill has he actually put forth on his
Gary,
own
even with this gay marriage,
to say he's never even read the Obamacare.
But gentlemen, even with this gay marriage thing, he was against gay marriage, then he was for gay marriage, and now he's not going to. He keeps
now he's saying it's a states' rights issue. All of a sudden, he's down with states' rights.
Josh,
what I'm saying is the defense of the borders and and the strong military and other things that you depend on the Republicans for. If you want to be Democrat light like John McCain and Mitt Romney, and you want to be this Mr. Nice guy, okay, you're not going to get anywhere. Reagan blurted out things like welfare queens. Be ready to blurt some things out because the center doesn't want Democrat.
But do you think
the center wants someone to stand up for the borders?
But look,
they're just doing it undermining our borders.
Look at Romney in the third debate. Why was he being so nice?
The Republicans. Is the problem. It's all about Mr. Nice Guy. I'm going to say this very briefly. The Republicans walk into the presidential campaigns now, okay, and they say, okay, well, we'll never win California or New York, so let's flush whatever it is, 70 or 80 electoral votes down the toilet. We'll never win Illinois, so forget about that. We're going to focus on swing states. Okay, I think this is the stupidest thing Romney could have done. Get out here to California. Talk to Californians about how your government is failing you and we need to be friendlier to business.
Yeah.
Don't say, oh, they'll never vote for us. I'm going to run from swing state to swing state. That's not galvanizing a national
I think the
they don't have the
conservatives
to go into these places because they're, obviously they would.
They used to.
SEIU and all.
But they used to.
Left of it.
I totally disagree.
They would go in there. They should go in. Romney should have done that, but they don't, they're afraid of the picketing, the demonstrations that would happen. But my thing is, well, if you really want to show you've got the strength to lead this whole country and you're interested in it, you should have been here anyway.
But Gary, in other words, conservatives are a
constant presence in
Gary.
Yes.
Well, no,
in other words, conservatives are afraid of confrontation and they do not know how to fight political war. What do you disagree about?
I disagree. The thing is,
With Josh.
no, you're just kicking against a cactus. It is our fault in the fact that for 30 years now, we have had teachers pushing socialism down our children's throats, and we did nothing about it. For 30 years, even when I was a kid in school, if you were patriotic, you were a fool. The teachers pushed that down our throats.
Well, they just found all the Chicago teachers unions.
But we have raised up an entire generation of socialists.
That's right.
Okay? And you know what? I'm not saying, ooh, you were bad, or I don't resist you anymore. What I'm saying is, conservatives, if you think you're going to push a conservative government in, you're kicking against a cactus.
Well, just a second.
But you have to
now
lay
what are
it
you
out
going to do? Are you saying we should just give up?
It's a long game.
You have to lay it out
We
somehow.
have to be willing to play the long game. And that's my point. You're not going to win today. You may not win in 2016.
No, you know what's going to happen?
No, you touched on something, though. The education system. We have to start going in there. I mean, we just had Sharp Elbows, I think it was, went into this. They found the Chicago Teachers Union, went to a Marxist conference at the Northwestern campus.
Of course.
I mean, and you see them.
Yeah.
You see the Chicago Teachers Union. They're Marxists. They run their back.
Wait, Josh. Before you go, 1 second. But again, with conservatives, you've got wealthy conservatives paying $100,000 for their kids' education in university to be taught Marxism,
Right.
and they don't do anything about it.
No, he's right. Tommy touched on something, and David Horowitz has obviously had his campaigns.
Yeah.
The university, all academia, has gone so far to the left that you don't even get any kind of exposure to conservatism at all. So that's a terrible problem, and it's at least 2 or 3 generations.
And the thing is
Okay, we gotta move on.
listen,
We got to move on.
Before the liberals crucify me, I don't resist you. But
You've surrendered?
No, listen, I don't resist you. I don't want to be crucified. I don't care about what you got going in your workers' paradise. But what I'm saying, just personally, I'm not resisting you, but it's a ship of fools. It's gonna sink, and then maybe 30 years from now we can found it again on the principles that made this country great. But currently we are on a ship of fools. There's no way you can change it. It will sink, and maybe when the smoke settles, we can found the country again on the principles that made it great.
Hey, Tommy thinks we're too far gone. Maybe he's right. Gary was about to say something, which was that the GOP needs to get some offices into the inner city, into black neighborhoods, Latino neighborhoods,
and stay there. And take the slings and arrows. You might get firebombed.
And it's time to be politically incorrect.
Butts kicked, but you got to go in there and hang.
Gentlemen,
yes, sir.
Let's get into the juicy and sexy story of Petraeus.
Oh, that's the problem right there.
But also a tragic story.
Yes.
Put me down for oh brother.
What's the tragedy?
Well, this is terrible what's happening on many levels, including, I think, that there's interconnected with the cover-up of Benghazi on many respects. We don't know for sure what's happening, but go ahead. How do you see this whole thing?
Put me down in the oh brother category.
Well, what do you mean?
terms of what?
Okay, something nice. All of a sudden, this pops up so conveniently, nice and juicy,
Just like the Clintons.
soap opera,
All of a sudden it's about sex.
and then
It's about sex and shit.
juicy and man, it makes good news, and all of a sudden, all of the media, including to an extent Fox News, focused on this.
Not on Benghazi.
Well, wait. Well, what should they be focusing on?
Well, it's kind of. Did you ever see the movie Wag the Dog?
That's right.
Okay, looks like we're getting the dog wagged.
Yeah, we're getting wagged
the
pretty
tail
good.
is wagging
Okay,
the dog.
But this is what it. That's what I'm saying. This is
Convenient. He's right. It's too convenient.
At the press conference, they asked Obama about it, but of course they threw in Susan Rice, which was like an open door for him to say, "Well, you're all picking on Susan Rice, and now it's about war on women, and now it's about sex and everything." But the problem is, why was there not enough security in Benghazi? Why did you not have the security in place when you had warnings ahead of time? Why is it when you had these guys giving targets, were they not fired upon?
And Gary, 1 second.
Now we're talking about David Petraeus.
Right, but what I mean is when I say
Bush should be all different.
But what I'm saying in terms of the tragedy is instead of focusing on Benghazi and what happened, hunting those people down, giving security to our people, we're putting a filmmaker in prison, and we're talking about sex.
Wait a second.
But go ahead.
Didn't one of the Navy SEALs, one of the parents of one of the Navy SEALs who was killed, said that Hillary Clinton came up to him and said, "Don't worry, we're going to put the filmmaker in prison."
And
I'm going to say this again to your audience. Go on YouTube, type in the word Jew, see if there's anything offensive. Type in Christian, Hindu, see if there's anything offensive. You know, this whole thing about it's about a filmmaker. We're going to throw the filmmaker in prison. People are dumb if they go along with this. They're dumb.
And then
Okay,
when
so
you
just
have,
like-
then you have an argument with some leftist on social media. They justify it.
Why aren't they
justify
screaming?
it?
Why
There
is
is-
the left
well, some-
screaming about his imprisonment?
Okay.
Some free speech should be stifled because it could be harmful.
Okay, 1 second. Gentlemen, Gary, what do
Yes.
you think about the whole Petraeus thing, the resignation, the sex scandal, all this? What?
I mean, there's so many rumors flying around right now. I've got my friends who are out there writing about it, and it just makes your head spin. And I think that's what it is. They're flooding the zone.
Smokescreen.
And they're flooding the zone. So there's so much to try and to absorb. You don't know what to think, and that's the point right there. We've got 4 Americans dead in Benghazi, but what do we find out just recently? Because Broadwell she's giving some speech at her college, and she says we were holding prisoners in the CIA safe house. That's not being talked about. I thought that was a bad thing under Bush, but we're holding Libyan rebels in that CIA safe house, according to Broadwell.
But how does she have that information?
Through Petraeus. A little bit of pillow talk.
But gentlemen,
I don't know.
gentlemen, but overall, it is a tragedy that this is what our society is talking about. Correct?
Yes.
In terms of
and it's even more tragic that if it was under Bush, it would be handled totally differently.
It would be
handled totally differently.
The Newsweek would be out with
Let's
a double
be honest.
issue
Okay.
with fold-outs and charts and maps and lining everything.
Gentlemen, all good things must come to
No.
an end, including
Play us out. Play us
the
out.
Glazov gang.
Play us out. Play the closing theme, Gary. He knows it.
I don't know. What
I've
is
been
it?
overridden. Let's play us out. Josh is right.
I'll just give a short one because I wrote the song called "See You in November," but maybe next November.
Play us out.
See you in November. See you in November. See, you white guys are clapping on the 1. What the hell is wrong with? This is what we're talking about on the 2 and 4. Come on, white boys.
I wish I could have brought my fiddle. I could fiddle as Romeburg.
Join us next week
Well, us white boys clap on the 1.
on the Glazov gang. See you then.
Rome is burning. Let's fiddle.
See you in November.